Hello and welcome to Once Driven Forever Smitten. I have bought another car. I don't really want to, but it was right round the corner and it was an MOT failure or something for like 300 quid. So it is an Astra Premier, which is pretty low spec, 1.4 high top, with some nice 15-inch alloys on it. Sort of quite a decent interior. 102,000 on the clock, but no rev counter, no electric windows, not very much spec wise to be honest, but it is tidy. It's got nice arches on it and things. I've been using it as storage temporarily for paint stuff. But yeah, it's quite a tidy car. I've collected some parts for it as well. It's not charging, so I have an alternator there and it's leaking out the exhaust, and I've got a downpipe there. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but we're just going to go and fire it up and check the alternator to see if we are getting a charge out it. I have checked the battery and the battery is charged, so we'll see what happens. Okay, then don't start. Okay, interesting. No spark. Right, so we've got a no spark issue with the Astra. Checked it, nothing's sparking, tried it out the coil, and what I've done is I've taken this plug off and cleaned the terminals up on it because they were quite badly corroded. So I've done that, and I've taken the 3 fuses out of here because they were also badly corroded, and I've cleaned them all up. So we shall now see if it's got a spark. I think it will have now. Oh, dropped the plug down there. I think it will spark and fire now. I think those terminals were corroded with it sitting. Let's see if we get any sort of spark off it. Interesting. Don't think we're getting a wonderful spark, but yep, they are sparking. Right, okay, let's put the plugs back in it, see if it'll fire. Oh, there we go. We have no charge from the alternator though, so this probably won't run for very long. Battery light's on. So let's check and see if our alternator's got a charge. No charge situation. It's got about 5 volts at the back of the alternator. Thankfully I should have one in stock. Aha! The one alternator. So we can fit this and hopefully it'll work. I'll just flip the air box out and put a 15 on the tensioner there. These things are so simple and so easy to work on. Little 8 valves. 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there, 2 bolts down the back, 2 terminals in the back of the alternator, and that's it. God knows when this has ever had a belt done. I'm not sure what the maintenance has been like on it. Don't worry about that now. Getting the nut off the end of the alternator for the main terminal was tricky. Had to go and bust it open unfortunately, but it's scrap anyway. That whole thing was spinning in there, so at least that's it out of the way now. And grab it with some vice grips so we can get this one fired in now. See, when you start to dig into things and they get progressively more complicated, that is the main power wire for the alternator, it has burned all the insulation off it, so I'm going to say that alternator was overcharging before it finally expired. And it's burned through the oil pressure switch wire a bit. Left the battery one intact, but look at that. That was nearly catastrophic. Could have set the car on fire. So what I'm just going to do is tape all this up before I put the new alternator back on. I don't know if I can even get that off of there, it's like welded on. But yeah, that alternator will have sent too much voltage down those wires before it gave up. I've also discovered it's rotten along the bottom of the bulkhead there, which I will have to investigate and weld up. Having said that, I'll have to go around the rest of it and make sure it's not catastrophically rotten from front to back. Because it's had bodywork done on it. It is very tidy. There's no dings in it. It's got excellent arches on it, front and back. Has had a bit of money spent on it, but things like that, you know, obviously things just can't be that simple. I'm surprised the bulkhead's gone that bad because it doesn't have any sound deadening on it. Hey ho, we will endeavour to fix it. Right, that's the alternator installed, belt back on. See if it puts our battery light out. Booster pack on. Yay! Success. Okay. A management light, what a surprise. Is there any petrol in it? The gauge isn't moving at all. We have a management light. Oh dear. I wonder if I've got some number plate screws somewhere. I'll have to get the tyres pumped up on it anyway. No fan, and it cuts out at random after a few seconds running. Great. Right, let's go and get some petrol for it, pump up the tyres and put it on the Tech 2. See what's happening. This has got no fuel gauge in it as well. I'm trying to run the fuel down without running out. I can hear it sloshing about in the tank. Right, put a gallon of petrol in it and now put on the tyres. I don't think it will start just now without the aid of the booster pack. And it did. It seems to have cleared its throat. Wouldn't surprise me if it's building up compression. The head gasket's probably away, and it did have absolutely no petrol in it because that's the gauge just come up now. Might be a dodgy coolant temp sensor as well, I don't know. Now of course it won't move because the brakes are jammed on. Wonderful. See if the bucket of scrap will move. Is it going to keep running? It's anybody's guess. And we've got no fans again. Great. I'm going to have to go and muck about with the connection on the fan. Oh, great. I cannot believe, oh wow, the GoPro's all mouldy. I cannot believe how damp this thing is inside, isn't it? Oh, there's the lever, the end came off. Can I get it down to the unit safely? Dampness is phenomenal. Like everything's soaking in it. My arse is probably going to be wet after this. Seems to run alright. Don't want to jinx it, but it doesn't drive too bad considering how long it's been off the road and how poor fettle it's in. Doesn't really want to idle when you pull up to a junction. Oh lovely, a green light. Go, 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 go. Obviously there was no petrol in it when I got it, because that gallon's not even brought it up off the bottom of the lead. At least it's running on 4 cylinders. It's not overheating either, the thermostat works, that's at 90. Spot on. Let's get it down to the unit so we can give it a proper assessment, decide what's going to happen with it. I think this little high torque's pretty tired, to be honest, but see, once I get the exhaust sealed up it's hard to tell. See what that management light is. It can't be much, there's very little technology on these. It's 60 okay. Temp's just up over 90 with the heaters on full. Makes me suspect there might be a head gasket issue with this, especially with the way it ran in 3 cylinders. Hell was that? We're nearly there. Wouldn't surprise me if there's smoke coming out the back drums, because they are dragging like. I phoned Stevie beforehand and asked him if he was about in case I needed rescued. It doesn't look like I'm going to. The windscreen finally dried out. The rest of the windows are just covered in condensation. Nobody use their handbrake anymore. I shouldn't be using the handbrake on this because it's probably making the drums worse. Well, it might free them off. Oh, it'd be nice to drive this back up the road after that. Whew. But anyway, I'm glad that the Astra made it down here because, oh, yeah, clutch is a bit sharper than Omega. What a delightful vehicle! Oh, what a racket! That exhaust's not getting any better. Now it's actually burst about. Looks like it's rotted out between the downpipe. Yeah, the bolts have like come out at now and the bolts are completely rotting away. Yeah. And no pressure switch wire wasn't put. Oh yeah, it's just totally burst there. That's alright, can fix that. I can fix anything. That's all for this one, folks. Next time out we'll get the Astra Premier up on the ramps and give it a check over and decide whether or not we're going to keep it standard or maybe drop the 1.68 valve multi-point in it. Catch you again soon. Cheers! You can hear the Cavalier when it comes back. Hello, Bob. Bob. Hey there, Bob. Hello, Bob.